Dear students, welcome to our English class. Today's topic of discussion is from class 12, Sonnet 18, Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day by William Shakespeare. You all know William Shakespeare, born in the year 1564 and died in the year 1616. He remains one of the greatest writers in the English language. Known as the Bard of Avon, Shakespeare is the poet-playwright whose work has been translated into every living language. He wrote a sonnet sequence of 154 sonnets. Here is the sonnet number 18 extracted from it. The sonnet sequence was published by Thomas Thorpe in 1609. Shakespeare gave English his own form of sonnet, which is varied from the sonnet form of Italian sonnet or Petrarchan sonnet introduced by Petrarch in Italy. Shakespeare in its form, 14 lines of iambic pentameter ending a rhyming couplet. The rhyme scheme followed A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Some of the themes that he explored in his sonnets are the ravages of time and brevity of life and beauty, love, and the timelessness of poetry that can capture beauty and love. Sonnet 18 is a typical Shakespearean sonnet where he captures forever the beauty of his young friend in the very form of the poem. The poet therefore believes that this beauty so inscribed in poetry becomes a theme forever. One of the greatest love poems, Sonnet 18, presumably addresses a young man. In the first quatrain, the poet establishes the simile and probably the young man's superiority. In the second quatrain, the poet considers the changing face of summer. In the third quatrain, the poet bestows unchangeability to the young man through poetry. In the final couplet, the poet underlines the eternal beauty of the young man when it becomes inscribed in poetry. Sonnet 18 begins with a rhetorical question where the poet ponders if he can compare the beauty of youth with summer's day or not. Yet he feels that youth is more lovely and temperate than a summer's day. Summer's beauty inconsistent as the sun is too hot at times and is dimmed by the clouds at times. Also, summer's period is too short. Often, the rough wind shakes the darling buds of May vigorously. Thus, its beauty is short, imperfect, and inconsistent. The youth's beauty, on the other hand, is eternal. Neither does it fade, nor can death snatches it away, as it will be eternalized in the poet's verse. For everything that is fair loses its beauty at one time, either by chance or nature's changing course, untrimmed. But the youth's beauty will not be withered and remain as long as man live. So the youth, through the immortal lines of the poet's verse, is eternalized. The poet in this sonnet eternalizes the beauty of the youth. His beauty is immortalized through the poet's verse. If his beauty is compared with a summer day, it might leave traces of imperfection. The eternal summer of his beauty shall not be ravaged by time and age. It will always remain untrimmed in the verse and read as long as man lives. The themes of this sonnet is the celebration of the loveliness of the poet's friend. The prime of his beauty is depicted through the image of summer, and the poet feels that the beauty of his friend far exceeds the beauty of the summer. In the concluding lines, Shakespeare asserts triumphantly the power of his verse to wither the rake of time and endow his friend with an immortal beauty. So Sonnet 18 is a poem where the poet establishes the superiority of the poetry to immortalize his friend in the lines of his poetry. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The very rhetorical question in the beginning of the sonnet surely indicates the poet's intention that he is unwilling to compare his friend to a summer's day because the friend is more superior, than the beauty of the summer. The poet says in the second line, thou art more lovely and more temperate. More lovely, the young person is calmer, and lot more moderate than summer that can be extreme, very hot or rough. The summer may be very hot or rough, but his friend is more calmer and more moderate than summer. The poet is giving example of the roughness, the inconsistency of the summer days in the following lines. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May. The darling, very dear birds, the small flowers of May. It is the cruel act of summer. It is the roughness of summer wind that destroys the beauty of the flower untimely. And summer's leaves hath all too short a date, and summer is short-lived. Summer's existence is for short time. So summer's lease means duration of summer, which is for the very short period of time. That is the brevity of span of summer. Summer is very brief. In the second stanza, in the second quatrain, the poet says, sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines. The eye of heaven is a figure of speech used here, circumlocution, expressing something in a roundabout way. The eye of heaven suggests the sun. The sun is compared to the eye of heaven. The sun is sometimes too hot in summer, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. That is the complexion of the summer, the color of the summer, which is golden, sometimes dimmed by the cloud when it is covered by the cloud. And every fear from prayer sometimes decline. It is the universal truth. It is the destiny and fate of every natural object. Every fair form, fair, sometimes fair suggests beauty. Everything of beauty is subject to decay sometimes. The poet mentions two causes. One is by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. By chance, suddenly, destiny snatches away our life. The beauty is withered by chance, by accident, and as a natural law of nature, our beauty is surely to perish. So by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed means continuous, uncontrollable, which never stops, always continued. But the eternal summer shall not fade. The poet asserts, the poet opposes the very idea that every fair from fair sometimes declines. The poet here uses the very word but to assert that his friend's beauty is not subject to decay or change in the course of time, in the seasonal change, as the natural law of mortality. The eternal summer, eternal means everlasting, summer means beauty. The everlasting beauty shall not fade, will never be fed by nature's changing course, nor lost possession of the fair, the worst. The possession of the beauty that belongs to the poet's friend will never gain popularity or will not be fed or colorless, because nor shall death break the wondrous. It is said that death is inevitable, man is mortal. Death snatches away our life. From this mundane world we start our journey for the final abode. But Shakespeare is opposing this idea. He is saying, nor shall death brag. Brag means to boast. Death is very proud that he has the capability or ability to snatch away the life of every living being, and no one can escape death. But Shakespeare wants to save his friend from the ravages of time. He says, nor shall death break the wondrous in his shade. When in eternal lines to time thou growest, that is, you will remain your eternal summer. Through these eternal lines of poetry, which time your beauty will only grow through poetry, rather than vanish in the shadow of death. It is the assertion, it is the belief of the Creator to immortalize His creation. It is the love of the friend to immortalize his friend's beauty forever in the heart of human being. In the last couplet, the poet says, so long as man can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So long as man can breathe, so long there will be the existence of man. And man has the ability to visualize or read the text. So long lives this. This means the poetry, the eternal lines written by the poet, the poet's verse. and this gives life to thee. Thee means you. And the poet's friend will be given life through these eternal lines, eternal words. As long as this poem is read, the youth's beauty which is captured in the poem will remain for all time. People will remember the poet's friend. Thus, the poet will immortalize his friend's beauty, saving from the ravages of time. So this is the poet's intention, to keep his friends eternal, his beauty being inscribed in his poetry. So this is about Sonnet 18. Read the text carefully. If there is any question, please feel free to ask me. And thank you for watching this video again. Please stay connected and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.